welcome to the Muse table. I'm here with Luisa from All Over the Place. Luisa, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have you. So let's just get started.
Mhm.
First, I'd love for you to kind of explain your Substack All Over the Place. Tell me a little bit about what that is, what that represents for you.
Well, I treat all over the place as my diary and
Hmm.
like a conversation I have with myself, but like a conversation that I would like other people to know that I'm having with myself. I don't know if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And I started writing that because I've been like, since I was a kid, I've been writing a little bit, like here and there, nothing too serious. And I was super bored. I didn't have a job. I was taking like two classes and I was like, I need to do something. So I just started writing because I had all of this free time and I was just like going through a like existential crisis and writing.
Understandable.
Yeah, writing really helped like suiting me. Like it became this thing that it's kind of like therapy.
Mm.
And that's why I call it all over the place because I feel like I don't have a niche. I don't have something that like, oh, I just write about this thing or this thing. Like I write about everything. Like I do personal essays, but I do a little bit of pop culture analysis too. And sometimes I talk about like films and TV shows. So it's all over the place.
Mhm. I
That's
love
why I
that.
call it that. Yeah.
I love that. And I see that it's grown to about 40,000 subscribers. So it's just crazy.
It is.
Let me know how you felt about like your Substack growing, having this large audience, because I'm not sure, but I don't think that you are on other social media platforms. So I'm sure like going from being like a regular normal person to all of a sudden having like 40,000 on Substack, that definitely does something to your brain. So I'd love to hear about like how you feel about that trajectory growing to that subscriber count and where you see things going kind of.
I like posted a little bit on YouTube like 2 years ago. But it was mostly like my friends watching and my family.
Mhm.
And then I got super self-conscious about like how I looked and how I sounded. And I was like, I can't do video format because it just stresses me out.
Mhm.
And then I started writing and suddenly like a lot of people started subscribing and it was like I think 4 months in,
Mhm.
I started gaining like new followers that weren't my friends or my family. And I got like excited. And I have this one essay that I think was the one that made me gain a lot of followers. And it's called um, I Want to Do Everything So I Do Nothing.
I think I read that one.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I wrote that I think like in April or March from last year.
Mhm.
And like in December, it started getting all of this like new traffic from like people.
Yeah.
And I went from having like 15,000 subscribers from having like 3D 8,000 or something like that. And it was like crazy.
Wow.
I'm still trying to figure it out how I feel about it because
Mhm.
I treat that like newsletter slash blog whatever as my diary, and I started gaining like consciousness about the fact that a lot of people on the internet are reading like very specific intimate details about my life, and that
Yeah.
made me super nervous because I was like, I'm letting all these people know that I'm like super insecure and
Mhm.
I overthink so much, and I don't know, it's scary, but I think
Mhm.
that's why people like it.
It's real.
Maybe, yeah.
Mhm.
I but I think you have to find like a balance between posting something that it's real, but also like preserving and like
Mhm.
protecting your safety.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. It's
Yeah.
weird.
I was gonna ask, do you know what type of space that you're trying to create with all over the place? And then also, I was gonna say, when it comes to your work, do you find that maybe people in your personal life try to like investigate? So how does that kind of affect like how you want things to expand, the space that you're trying to create, while also keeping in mind like you know people in real life, like the people that you know in real life read your work, they see like, okay, this is what Luisa actually thinks. How does all of that impact you?
Okay, let's go with the spending first because I think it's gonna be shorter.
Hmm.
Um, I don't really have any big ambitions on like growing the blog. What I really want is to get more paid subscribers so I can like support myself from that. But and I'm going to like start writing more and just focus a little bit more because I feel like I've been all over the place with the vlog for the last months. I've been like posting here and there, but I don't have like a schedule, so I just want to be like a little bit more organized with the way I post.
Hmm.
And I'm still very weird about posting my face on social media for everyone to see.
Hmm.
So I don't think I will be migrating to other apps right now.
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to be a little bit more organized with the schedule in how I post and spending a little bit of the themes that I write about because I feel like I do more personal essays than anything else.
Right.
And I don't think I'm ever gonna stop writing that, but I do feel like now because I have so many people reading me, I want to protect myself a little bit more
Yeah,
and be a little bit more selective with what I choose to share.
that's smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
as you grow and more people are becoming more familiar with you and your work, they will naturally become more curious. So then it's important to know what to gatekeep for yourself. And
Mm.
I've been seeing a lot of just creatives, even influencers talking about like having non-negotiables about things that you will not talk about, like having certain
Ooh.
things that you just know, I'm never going to write about this. I'm never going to talk about this on social media. Like this is solely just for me. And I think that helps create that like barrier and that boundary of like, okay, this stuff is for social media, whatever your social media platform is, and then everything else is for me. And I get to have a space that's solely mine and not anyone else's, you know?
That's super smart. I should start doing that. I should
Yeah,
make
it's
my own
definitely
list.
hard, especially once you're like, I feel like Substack is a place where a lot of people just kind of stumble upon it and they're just kind of like, let me just start posting. That's kind of how it was for me. And you don't really think too much about it. And now, as like your platform grows, you have to be a little bit more strategic because it's not just like
Yes.
random people on the internet reading it. When you're getting hundreds or thousands of people reading your stuff, then it becomes more aware to you that I need to filter what I say, not like filter out your work necessarily, because I think being real and raw in your work is important, but not just giving everything to everyone just because it's on your heart, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people start and because they don't have like a big following like any other place, they're just like, oh, this is fun. Like I'm sharing this for like three people and I love it.
Hmm.
But then you get like a lot of people reading you and it's crazy. I don't know.
Hmm.
I my mom read my stuff, like my earlier stuff,
Hmm.
and I didn't know this because she doesn't speak or read English and she was subscribed because I told her like, oh, I'm creating this, so you can subscribe, whatever. But I never thought that she was going to read it. And then my sister was like, you know, she reads all of your stuff, right? She just puts it on the translator, and I was like, I'm sorry,
Oh,
what?
wow.
Um, that was crazy. So I was like, oh, maybe I should not be telling the internet stuff that I don't want my mom to know.
Yeah, that's definitely difficult when family sees your stuff. I think, yeah, for me, I don't think my parents have seen it, but I think my sisters have, but they haven't brought it up. So it definitely is a difficult place to navigate because it's like you have to be aware of the fact that like your family can
Mm-hmm.
read the things that you write about. And if it's things that you haven't already shared with them, that can create conversations that maybe you're not ready for. Has that
Yeah.
happened yet in your life where you feel like people have brought up certain things that you weren't prepared to be asked about?
It hasn't happened. Like my mom didn't even brought up that she was reading that. It was my sister who told me because my mom told my sister and then she told me.
Hmm.
Um, but it was so weird and I got like super anxious. Not because I'm sharing like too many details. But there was like a specific situation. I was talking about this person who I used to like have a relationship with
Hmm.
that I didn't tell my mom about. And
Right.
she definitely knows who I'm talking about, but I never told her what happened.
I see. Hmm.
And then I bet that she was reading all this, like, what's going on? But she never
Right.
brought it up. So that was really nice of her. Because I think she knew that if I wanted to,
Share it.
I would.
Yeah. That makes.
But I write sometimes stuff about my friends,
Mhm.
and they don't like talk about it either. Because I think it's usually stuff that I discuss with them. Like
Mm.
I remember there was like one of my earlier posts. I was talking about how I had these like feelings that I didn't like about wanting new friends because I didn't feel connected with mine
Mhm.
at that time. And I told my best friend like, "Hey, I'm gonna post this, and it might sound a little bit harsh, but I love you and like all it's good. Like this is just what it's going on with me right now."
Yeah.
And she's the type of person who doesn't really take things personally, and like I think she felt good about the fact that I told her before. It wasn't like, "Oh, I'm gonna read this," and like suddenly I'm realizing it's about me, like I told her beforehand.
Mhm.
So I think that's what makes it different when you kind of let someone know that you're writing about them. And that's like a whole like different conversation. Like,
Yeah.
should you tell people that you're writing about them or not? I don't think you should. But if it's someone in your personal life and you're like, if you want to share that with them because you don't want like the conversation to be awkward later, I do think it's important. But I think it depends on the case. Like if it's someone you're not speaking to anymore, I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, no, don't want to open that door back up. I feel like honestly don't tell anyone when I'm gonna write about them. Because I honestly don't know who does and does not read my writing. Like
Mm,
people don't say. And maybe they're just like uncomfortable bringing it up because I feel like mine are pretty like personal and intimate. So maybe people feel uncomfortable. But
mm-hmm.
I'll definitely check in with people to be like, hey, I'm gonna write about you. And maybe I should, but I haven't done that yet. So that's definitely interesting and something that I'll keep in mind that if there's, especially with friends, I feel like I don't write about my friends a lot. Mine are a lot about like family or like romantic relationships or just like existential things. And with romantic relationships, like I don't want to reach back out to an ex to be like, hey, I'm gonna write about you. There's not really a point there. So
Yeah.
yeah. And with family, it's
Actually,
hard. Hmm.
I was reading some of your stuff earlier,
Oh,
and there
really?
was, yeah, I love it. And like, there was one thing, and I took a screenshot of it because I wanted to read it to you because I
Mhm.
literally gasped. I was like,
Oh
you
my
said,
God.
you
Uh-huh.
said, like, everyone I have ever loved has rejected me. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait,
Hmm.
that's so. Because I feel like even if it's real, or not from your perspective you have felt that way like somehow,
Right.
and I can relate to that so much
Hmm.
because I feel like we all have these like um desires of how we want people to treat us,
Mm.
and everyone will disappoint us like eventually because they're just people, they're not in our heads, like they don't know what we need especially if we don't communicate it.
I know.
But I don't know, it was I'm still thinking about it. That was
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was definitely a difficult piece after like something happened with someone. And sometimes I don't know. For me, the only way that I can process my emotions and my feelings is if I write it all out. Otherwise, I find that I can't get over things. Like I feel like even like in my dreams, like I hear the words in my head, like I'll wake up at like 3 a.m. and I'll have to like put something in my notes app. And that was going to lead me to like my next set of questions about your creative process. I want to know like what that looks like for you. Are you someone where you're like, I just write when I like get the inspiration? Are you someone that's a little bit more regimented where you're like, I'm going to write every day and just like spew out anything on my brain? Like, what does your process look like when it comes to writing?
I have no like regime or anything. I just usually I write when I can't not do it. It's
Mm,
just like I am the type of person who lets feelings build up, and
mm,
then it gets to a point in where I can like not talk about it. But
mhm.
it's usually feelings that I wouldn't want to discuss with like anyone else. And that's why I started writing, because I just wanted to talk, but I didn't want to talk to people that I knew, or
Yeah.
maybe even to my therapist. There are some things that I feel like I don't want to say because I don't want to be I don't want to be hospitalized or something. So I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, sometimes I'm in bed or like doing the dishes or like taking a shower and something will pop in my head and I'm like, wait, I need to write this.
Yes.
And that's what happens. Like I do, like sometimes I'm like having a conversation and someone says something and I'm like, ooh, this thing that you said, it's interesting. So I just put it on my notes. And I
Hmm.
have like so many notes of like things that I will one day like to talk about.
Right.
But if I have posted something, it's usually because that thing is just bothering me.
Mm,
And I just need to like let it out. And I feel like I had, I think I'm better at this now, but I thought that I had to publish everything that I wrote.
mm,
And I was really good about having a journal before, like just for myself, not prompts, just like kind of like a diary. And then my Substack became my diary. So I stopped writing on my actual physical diary. And I'm trying to get back to it because sometimes I just need to write, but I don't want people to like read it.
mhm.
So I think, yeah, I just need to like go back to doing that just between me and myself, and post what I think it's real and will resonate with people, but that it's like not too much. Because I do think there's like a thin line
Yeah,
between sharing too much and not sharing.
absolutely. I definitely feel like that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm trying to figure out where is the line for myself. Like I feel like sometimes, especially recently, I have been trying to incorporate just kind of like getting all my feelings out, writing everything and just posting it. But then
Mm-hmm.
like maybe let's not do that because how I felt in the moment maybe not might not be something I want the entire world to see. And crazy enough, the times that I have done that, people tend to resonate the most with that, which makes
It's
me
so
feel a
true.
little like I don't know how to really feel about that because it's like this was completely just like off my head in the heat of the moment. Like I was like feeling a lot of things and I need to get it out there. And I was just like, I'm just gonna post this on Substack. I'm not even gonna reread it. I'm not gonna do multiple drafts. Like I'm just gonna post it.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out where that line is of like, okay, like this is like real and raw emotions that I want to share because I know that other people can resonate with versus like these are all my feelings that I need to just like work through by myself and like I need to write it out and just get it out so it's out of my body and just like leave it there. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
it's definitely a very, very thin line that I feel like I'm like getting a little close to that I'm like, let me reel it in a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm at that point in where I am writing things just for myself. Like sometimes I will write like a draft and I will just like take parts out of it that I think that are too much. Like
Yeah.
I will write it and I will publish it, but I will not publish everything that I wrote.
Mm,
Especially with those parts where I'm like, maybe I don't want people to know that.
right. So how do you kind of evaluate when something is done? Are you someone that does multiple drafts? Are you just kind of like, I'm gonna write everything out, do like a brief like spelling and grammar check and then post it? Like, what is your process for reviewing?
It depends. Like if I'm writing like a personal essay and I don't have to, and I'm not citing anyone,
Mhm.
it's usually one draft that I will like sit down one day, write everything, leave it be for like that night, come back to it, do some edits, like
Mhm.
cut some parts, and I will publish it. But
Mm.
if I'm talking about something, like I did this one essay about like the religion of thinness and how like the whole ED culture coming back was affecting me. So it was kind of like a personal essay, but I had some research about the team. That one took me like 3 months
Wow.
because first it was something hard to talk about, but it was also something that I wanted to read a lot about.
Mhm.
So it took me a lot of time, and yeah, it just depends. Like usually those type of essays in where I'm like citing sources and I'm like it's not just my opinion on something, but like the opinions of others. Like I'm using other opinions to support my arguments.
Right.
Those like take me longer because I want to like I don't wanna like just say things because.
Right. You're doing your due diligence. You want to make sure that what you're saying is backed up and not just coming out of thin air, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Do you find that you have a lot of drafts? Like, I know for me, like in my Substack drafts, I have like probably like 50 like started essays with maybe like a sentence or two because I had like a strike of inspiration that I haven't finished. Like, do you find that it's like that for you as well?
Yeah, I think I have like five. It's not that many. I think I use my notes more for that. Like if you will go through my notes, it's like every girl has that like grocery shopping list and
Uh,
then like just writing. Like I
mhm.
have so many of those and I feel like I have maybe like 30 on my notes of just like ideas for essays. But for Substack, I think I just have like five drafts
Okay, that's
of
good.
like yeah, I think it's a good number of things that I never finished writing because maybe I just wasn't resonating with the team like anymore or I'm still in the process of writing them. I don't know. It depends.
That's fair. That's fair. Going back to just like all over the place and creativity, how do you feel like it has changed your creativity since you started? So from the first day you created your Substack to now, how has your relationship with creativity changed over time?
I love this question. Um, I like to. I wouldn't call myself a creative person, which I think it's weird because if you like write and like post about it on the internet and like you're creating something, like usually people will call themselves creatives. I have a hard time using that word to like I don't know. I can't identify with that word. Um, I don't know why. It feels like I'm a fake person if I use that because I don't feel creative myself. But I do feel like I'm way more. I wouldn't call myself more creative because of my writing, but I think I am better at noticing things in other people's writing, in like books. Like writing has made me analyze things so much better. And I think it's also made me more empathetic to other people. So I wouldn't say that it like it has made me more creative, but I do feel like it has made me better somehow, like maybe in other aspects of my life.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. I think it makes me appreciate other art forms more. Like I wasn't really a film, like I was a film person in high school, but then I just stopped watching lots of movies and film for the past few years. I'm just now re-getting into it. And I think now watching storytelling through films and even television or anything, seeing the way that these writers like let the stories progress makes me
Mm-hmm.
appreciate so much more because I'm like, I wish that I could tell a story like that. I
Mm-hmm.
wish that I could write like that and develop characters in that way. So I think it definitely helps you appreciate art overall. And I definitely relate to the imposter syndrome about calling yourself, even calling myself a writer. Sometimes it's hard to be like, I'm a writer because it sounds like one really pretentious to be like, I'm a writer. But then also it's like not that Substack isn't something, but it feels like, well, I just write on Substack. Like I just
Mm-hmm. I
publish
totally get that.
or something. But I'm trying to reclaim that for myself and like allow myself to sit in that instead of just feeling like it's for other people. Because especially like us being women of color, I think it's important for us to show up in those spaces and to claim those spaces, even if it's uncomfortable and it's hard because we are young, we are women of color, like
Yeah.
it can be difficult, but I think trying to work through that so that we can, I don't know, stamp our place in that industry is important, you know?
I think I've been feeling more comfortable calling myself a writer the last couple of months. I think last year I wouldn't because I felt weird about it. But like right now, I feel comfortable calling myself a writer because I do write. So,
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so I do have 10 minutes left, so I'm going to just
okay.
try and wrap this up quickly. So are there any other directions that you're thinking of taking your work in? I know that you said that right now you're just kind of like writing on Substack, but like long term, like what do you think? Have any brands reached out to you about your writing? Like anything, any aspirations for your writing? Like where are you at with that?
No brands so far. Hopefully soon.
Mhm.
um, I am really into film. Um, and I will want to do something about that I can incorporate my writing into and I also want to start writing fiction. I have a couple of ideas and I have some stuff that I wrote like 2 years ago. But I think like right now I want to focus a little bit more on like fiction and sending it to like magazines and stuff like that. Um, because I think I was, imposter syndrome. I was like, it's not good enough. But I don't know. I think Substack has definitely made me more confident. And now I'm just going to like write some stuff, some short stories.
Good.
And I think that's where I'm at, like for the future.
I love that. I'm excited to read, so let me know when you publish that.
I will.
Second to last question. What does living a creative like life look like for you right now?
Hmm. I think anything that doesn't like necessarily involve you scrolling can be something creative. Like something that is like not in your like day-to-day life. You can definitely incorporate it to your day-to-day life, but I don't know. I'm going to like a watercolor workshop with my best friend on Saturday because I want to like paint more. I used to paint a lot of um like things in watercolor when like the pandemic happened because I just like I needed to do things. Everyone was just doing whatever.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to do that, like paint a little bit more. I got myself like a notebook for annotating like every time I read a book or a movie because I usually forget what I watched or like what I read. And I remember how it made me feel, but I don't remember what happened. So I'm just like writing little essays about movies and books that I read.
I love that.
And yeah, that makes me feel a little bit more creative. But honestly, I'm not like I don't feel like I'm that creative with like my hands and stuff. I
Mm.
am creative when it comes to cooking. I
Oh,
love cooking. And I am the type of person who doesn't like really need a recipe. I can just like throw things together and it will taste good. That's
oh,
where all my creativeness is in
oh,
my
yeah, throw
cooking
it
skills.
somewhere in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's good. I'll have to get some recipe tips from you then.
I can post some on Substack. I think that would be something interesting to do.
Yeah, definitely. You could also like create another newsletter specific
Mm,
like Luisa's Kitchen or something like that. I think people would love that, honestly.
that's a good idea. There's actually so many like cooking related newsletters that I think are really cool.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, final question. If you had to write a short note to your younger creative self, what would you say?
Oof. I think the only thing I will say is just like do it scared.
Hmm, I love
Um, I think we're never going to stop being afraid of trying new things. It's human nature, but we can't let that fear of people like seeing us try stop us from trying, you
that.
know?
Mhm. I love that. I think it's important. I feel like sometimes we get way too in our heads about
Mm-hmm.
and overthink things. And I think that's why I'm really trying to focus on just following like my passion and like what excites me. Even if it scares me, following what excites me and just doing it like this with the Muse table. Like, definitely have been terrified to start this and I've been putting it off for a little bit, but I'm super excited and I'm so glad. Honestly, you were my first guest. So
Oh, I'm so
thank you so much for
honored.
being here. And I'm really excited to see how things progress. I'm excited to see how your career progresses. I love reading your work and I'm excited for how things go for both of us.
I'm so happy that you like told me. I was like so excited about it. Also super scared because like this is the first thing that I do about like talking about my work with someone else.
Yeah, of
So thank you so much for like thinking about me for this. It's so cool, honestly.
course.